We often associate cancer with older people, and it is, a true fact that 60% of cancers often occur in the ages of 60 and over. However, cancer in young people is rare, but it does occur. Unfortunately, nobody is immortal. For example, every day in the UK, 6 young people aged between the ages of 13 and 24 have the devastating news that they've been diagnosed with cancer. So let's break that down and let's have a look for young men. What is the most common cancers? Well, the first one is testicular cancer. That accounts for about 27% of all young male cancers. The next most common is Hodgkins lymphoma, and that accounts for about 14%. And the final one is leukemias, and that accounts for about 11%. Okay, what about for young women then? Well, the most common cancers for young women are skin cancer, which accounts for about 17%, and Hodgkin's lymphoma, again 17%. And the third one is ovarian cancer, which accounts for about 9% of all young women's cancers. So how can you reduce your risk of developing any sort of cancer, whether it be a cancer as a young person or cancer when you're a lot older? Well, first of all, get to know your body. Everybody's different and we've all got lumps and bumps in different places. So get to know what's normal for you. Again, if you're young, your body's going through a lot of changes. So get used to what those changes are and how your body looks and feels. So that if you notice anything different and abnormal that's not, quite right for your body, you're aware of it and you can pick that up early and get it seen to. Hopefully it won't be cancer, but if it is cancer, obviously the earlier that we can pick it up, the better the treatment is and the better the outcome for you. Smoking. We know that smoking is a huge risk factor for all sorts of cancers and other health conditions as well. And be safe in the sun. We've talked about previously how radiation is an increased factor of developing cancer and that the sun is a big ball of radiation. So if we're being exposed to this radiation via the sun over a long period of time, then obviously that's going to increase the risk of that damage being done to the DNA and the cells mutating and a cancer developing. And try to avoid the use of sunbeds because they are producing ultraviolet rays and that's going to increase your risk of developing cancer in years to come. Practice safe sex. And by that, I don't mean not getting caught. Safe sex, obviously try and reduce the number of partners you have. The more partners you're exposed to at a younger age, obviously increasing your risk of developing cancer, let alone sexually transmitted diseases. Exercising and eating healthy. We know that if you're obese or overweight, then obviously this increases your risk of developing all sorts of health conditions, including cancer. And finally, and probably the most important one, is have a voice. Very often, people don't always listen to young people when they have health concerns, particularly when it's related to cancer. But if you're worried about absolutely anything that we've talked about, or you find anything in your body that you're concerned about and you're worried about that's not quite right for you, speak to somebody. It might be a teacher, it might be a friend, it might be your parent, or it might be your GP or your practice nurse. But please speak to somebody about your concerns and make sure they take you seriously and obviously give you some good advice.